Hey Aries, I just pulled cards for you today and honestly what came through was so specific about where your energy needs to flow right now. I have been reading tarot for years and sometimes the universe just decides to be really direct. And this is one of those moments. So let me share what I am seeing because this feels like guidance you really need to hear. The very first card that appeared was Justice, and can I just say this card showing up first is telling me everything about where you are right now. You have been in this space where you are trying to figure out what is fair, what is right, and honestly, Aries, I think you have been weighing a lot of decisions lately. Justice is not just about karma or legal stuff like people think. This card is about balance and the scales and where your energy has been going versus where it should be going. I am seeing that you have been pouring so much of yourself into situations or people or goals that are not giving you equal return. And Justice here is saying stop that flow right now because that is not sustainable. When I look at Justice in the context of energy direction, it is wild because this card is literally about equilibrium. Your energy, Aries, is meant to flow towards situations that honor your worth, not situations where you are constantly proving yourself or fighting to be seen or valued. I have noticed with Aries energy you guys tend to just charge forward, and sometimes you end up in dynamics where you are giving way more than you receive, because you are so focused on the goal or the person or the outcome. But Justice is appearing here to say that phase needs to end. Your energy is meant to flow into reciprocal connections, reciprocal work, reciprocal relationships. If something is taking more than it gives, you need to redirect. And here is what is interesting about Justice in this position. This card is telling me you have the clarity right now to see what is imbalanced. You might have been ignoring it or hoping it would get better, but deep down you know exactly where things are off. The universe is supporting you in making those course corrections. Your energy is meant to flow toward truth and fairness and situations where you are not constantly having to fight for basic respect or consideration. That should be a given, Aries, not something you have to earn over and over. The next card that came out was Page of Cups, and okay, this one made me pause because it is such a shift in energy from Justice. Page of Cups is about emotional openness and curiosity and new feelings. And I think what the universe is telling you here is that your energy needs to flow toward receptivity. You are so used to being the initiator, the warrior, the one who makes things happen. But Page of Cups is saying there is growth and harmony in learning to receive, learning to be open to what comes to you instead of always chasing. This card is giving me very specific vibes about emotional vulnerability. Aries, you are not always comfortable with being soft or being in that receptive space. You like to be in control, you like to know what is happening, you like to be the one driving things forward. But Page of Cups is saying your energy right now is meant to flow toward gentleness, toward allowing yourself to feel things without immediately needing to act on them or fix them or change them. Just feeling and being present with those feelings. I also think Page of Cups is talking about creative and emotional exploration. Your energy is meant to flow toward things that make you feel something real, not just things that look good on paper or make logical sense, but things that actually touch your heart. Maybe there is a creative project you have been thinking about, or a person who makes you feel something different, or a way of living that feels more aligned with who you are becoming. Page of Cups is encouraging you to explore that even if it feels uncertain or unfamiliar. That exploration is where your growth is. Another thing about Page of Cups is this card often represents messages or new emotional beginnings. So your energy might be meant to flow toward opening up communication in a way you have not before. Maybe being more honest about your feelings or being willing to hear someone else's perspective without your defenses up. This is about creating space for genuine connection, Aries, and that requires a different kind of energy than you are used to bringing. It requires softness and trust and willingness to be seen in your vulnerability. Then we have Six of Wands, and this card is really interesting in this reading because Six of Wands is about victory and our recognition and success. But in the context of where your energy should flow, I think this is telling you that your energy needs to move toward confidence and self-acknowledgement. You have accomplished so much, Aries, and I do not think you give yourself enough credit. You are always on to the next thing, the next goal, the next challenge. But Six of Wands is saying pause and own what you have already done. Your energy is meant to flow towards celebrating yourself and your wins. Not in an arrogant way, but in a way that honors your journey. When you acknowledge how far you have come, it actually gives you more energy to keep going. It is like fuel. But when you are constantly dismissing your achievements or minimizing them because they are not enough, yet you are draining your own tank. Six of Wands wants you to redirect that energy toward pride and confidence in who you are right now. I also think Six of Wands is about allowing yourself to be seen and recognized. Your energy is meant to flow toward visibility, not hiding or playing small or downplaying what you bring to the table. There is this interesting dynamic with Aries where you can be bold and brave in some areas but then almost shy about really owning your power in other areas. Six of Wands is saying let people see you in your full glory. Let yourself be acknowledged. That is part of your harmony and growth, to actually receive recognition instead of deflecting it or moving past it too quickly. And Six of Wands is also about leadership and inspiration. Your energy, Aries, is meant to flow toward leading by example. When you step into your confidence and your authentic power, you naturally inspire other people. But that only happens when you are willing to be visible and own your story. So wherever you have been holding back or playing it safe, Six of Wands is encouraging you to redirect your energy toward boldness and self-expression. Now Ace of Cups came through, and this card honestly feels like a blessing in this reading. Ace of Cups is pure emotional fulfillment, new love, new emotional chapters, overflowing feelings. And I think what this is saying about energy direction is that your energy needs to flow toward love, toward what fills your cup, toward what makes you feel emotionally satisfied and nourished. You have been so focused on achievement and doing and proving, Aries, but Ace of Cups is asking, where is the low? In all of this, your energy is meant to flow toward relationships and connections and experiences that actually feed your soul. Not just things that look good or make sense strategically, but things that make you feel alive in your heart. Ace of Cups is an invitation to prioritize emotional richness over external success. And I know that might feel counterintuitive to you because you are such a goal-oriented sign, but the universe is saying this is where your harmony lives. In the emotional depth and connection, not just in the achievements. Ace of Cups is also about self-love, and I think your energy needs to flow more toward taking care of your own emotional needs. You are so good at taking care of other people or pushing through challenges, but when was the last time you really checked in with your own heart? When was the last time you did something just because it felt good, not because it accomplished anything? Ace of Cups is calling you back to that space of emotional self-care and tenderness toward yourself. And there is something about new beginnings here too. Ace of Cups often signals a new emotional chapter, and I think your energy is being redirected toward openness to love in whatever form that takes. Maybe a new relationship or a deepening of an existing one, or a new relationship with yourself. But there is this invitation to let love in, to let your heart be full, to prioritize feeling overdoing for a little while. That is where your growth is, Aries, and softening enough to receive love. Seven of Pentacles showed up next, and this card always makes me think about patience and assessment and long-term investment. In terms of energy direction, Seven of Pentacles is telling you that your energy needs to flow toward sustainable growth, not quick wins. You have been grinding, Aries, I can feel it. You have been putting in so much work, so much effort, so much energy into building something. But Seven of Pentacles is asking you to pause and evaluate, is this effort actually moving you toward what you want? This card is about being strategic with your energy. Not just working hard for the sake of working hard, but making sure your energy is going toward things that will actually bear fruit long term. I think you might be at a point where you need to reassess some of your investments, whether that is time or money or emotional energy. Are you watering dead plants? Are you putting energy into things that are never going to grow the way you hope? Seven of Pentacles is giving you permission to redirect your energy away from what is not working. There is also this element of patience with Seven of Pentacles. Your energy, Aries, is meant to flow toward trusting the process. I know you want results yesterday and you want to see progress immediately, but this card is saying some things just take time. And your growth and harmony come from learning to be okay with that. Learning to put in consistent effort without needing immediate validation or results. That is a different kind of strength, and it is one you are being called to develop. Seven of Pentacles is also about resting and taking breaks. You do not have to be in constant action mode, Aries. Your energy is meant to flow toward cycles of work and rest. toward knowing when to push and when to pull back. There is wisdom in pausing to assess instead of just powering through. So if you have been feeling tired or burned out, Seven of Pentacles is telling you that redirecting your energy toward rest and reflection is not weakness. It is necessary for sustainable growth. Then Eight of Swords appeared, and honestly when I saw this card I felt like it was addressing something really specific. Eight of Swords is about mental restriction, feeling trapped or limited by your own thoughts. And I think what this is saying about energy direction is that your energy has been flowing toward limitation, and that needs to stop. You have been telling yourself stories about what you cannot do or what is not possible or why things will not work out. And those stories are keeping you stuck. Your energy, Aries, is meant to flow toward freedom and possibility. Eight of Swords is showing me that the things that feel like obstacles are often just mental constructs. Yes, there might be real challenges, but you are making them bigger than they need to be by focusing so much energy on all the reasons something cannot work. What if you redirected that energy toward finding solutions or taking small steps forward instead of fixating on what is blocking you? I also think Eight of Swords is about releasing victim mentality. Not saying you are playing victim, but there might be areas where you feel powerless or at the mercy of circumstances. And this card is saying you have more power than you think. Your energy needs to flow toward empowerment and taking responsibility for what you can control instead of obsessing over what you cannot. That shift in perspective alone will create so much more harmony in your life. Eight of Swords often appears when someone is on the verge of a breakthrough, but they are so caught up in their mental limitations they cannot see it. So Aries, I am seeing that you are closer to freedom than you realize. You just need to redirect your mental energy. Stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios. Stop telling yourself why you are not ready or why it is too late or why it will not work. Redirect that energy toward possibility, toward what could go right, toward the version of yourself who is already living the life you want. That is where your growth is. Eight of Pentacles came next, and I love this card in this context because it is all about mastery and dedication and skill development. Your energy, Aries, is meant to flow toward craftsmanship, toward honing your skills, becoming really good at what you do, focusing on quality over quantity. You have natural talent and ability, but Eight of Pentacles is saying it is time to level up. It is time to commit to excellence in whatever area matters most to you. This card is about putting your energy toward focused work, not scattered effort but concentrated, dedicated practice. I think you might have been spreading yourself thin, trying to do too many things or be good at everything. But Eight of Pentacles is saying pick your lane and master it. Your harmony and growth come from depth, not breadth right now. From becoming so skilled at your craft that you are undeniable. Eight of Pentacles is also about taking pride in your work. Your energy should flow toward doing things well for the sake of doing them well, not just for external rewards or recognition. There is satisfaction and fulfillment that comes from knowing you did your absolute best, from putting in the work even when no one is watching. That is where your integrity lives, Aries, and that is what builds lasting success. I also see Eight of Pentacles as an invitation to be a student again. Your energy is meant to flow toward learning and growth and not being afraid to be a beginner at something. You might be at a point where you need new skills or knowledge, and this card is encouraging you to invest your energy there. Take the class. Find the mentor. Do the research. Your growth requires you to be humble enough to admit you do not know everything and dedicated enough to do the work to learn. Page of Wands showed up, and this card is so fiery and playful and full of potential. Page of Wands is about enthusiasm and exploration and new creative sparks. And I think what this means for energy direction is that your energy needs to flow toward curiosity and adventure. You have been taking things so seriously, Aries, but Page of Wands is reminding you that life is supposed to be fun. Your harmony comes from approaching things with a sense of play and experimentation, not just grinding and striving. This card is telling you to redirect your energy toward what excites you, what lights you up, what makes you feel enthusiastic and inspired. That is where you should be putting your focus, because that is where your natural energy flows most easily. When you are excited about something, you do not have to force yourself to take action. The momentum is natural. So Page of Wands is asking you to identify what that is for you right now and give yourself permission to explore it. Page of Wands is also about being bold and taking risks. Your energy, Aries, is meant to flow toward courage and trying new things even if you are not sure how they will turn out. This is not the time to play it safe or stick with what is comfortable. Your growth lives on the other side of taking that leap. And Page of Wands energy is fearless in the best way. It is not reckless, but it is willing to go for it without needing all the answers first. I also think Page of Wands is encouraging you to trust your instincts and your gut. Your energy should flow toward intuition and spontaneity. You do not always need a plan, Aries. Sometimes you just need to follow what feels right in the moment. Page of Wands is that initial spark of inspiration that says yes this, and your job is to honor that spark by taking action on it instead of overthinking it or talking yourself out of it. The last card that came through was Two of Cups, and oh my goodness, this card is so beautiful in this reading. Two of Cups is about partnership and connection and mutual love and respect. And I think what this is saying about energy direction is that your energy needs to flow toward partnership and collaboration. You are so used to doing everything yourself, Aries. You are so independent and self-sufficient, but Two of Cups is saying there is harmony and growth in letting someone meet you halfway. Your energy is meant to flow toward building genuine connections where there is give and take, where both people are showing up equally, where there is respect and understanding and a real desire to support each other. Two of Cups is the card of soulmate energy, whether that is romantic or platonic, or even a business partnership. It is about finding your person or people who really get you and choosing to build something together. I think Two of Cups is also about vulnerability and opening your heart. Your energy needs to flow toward letting people in, letting them see the real you, not just the strong, capable version, but the soft, vulnerable human underneath. That is where real intimacy lives, and that is where your emotional growth is. In being willing to be seen fully and still feeling safe. Two of Cups can also represent commitment and making a choice to invest in a relationship. So your energy, Aries, might need to flow toward deepening an existing connection or making it official somehow. Or if you are single, this could be about preparing your energy for a real partnership by healing old wounds and getting clear on what you want. Either way, the message is that your harmony comes from connection, not isolation. From partnership, not doing everything alone. So Aries, when I look at all of these cards together, the direction your energy is meant to flow is pretty clear. You need to move away from constant striving and doing and achieving and move toward balance, receptivity, connection, and sustainable growth. Your energy has been going outward for so long, always pushing, always fighting, always proving. But the universe is redirecting you inward and toward others. Toward emotional depth. Toward rest and reflection. Toward partnership and collaboration. Toward trusting the process instead of forcing outcomes. This is about creating harmony in your life by honoring all parts of yourself, not just the warrior. By giving yourself permission to be soft and vulnerable and patient. By redirecting your energy toward what actually fills you up emotionally rather than what just looks good externally. The cards are so clear that your growth lives in this rebalancing of how you spend your energy and where you direct your focus. I hope this reading gave you some clarity on where to focus your energy moving forward. These shifts might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you are used to operating in a certain way. But trust that the universe is guiding you toward greater harmony and authentic growth. You do not have to do everything alone, and you do not have to be in constant motion. There is power in stillness. There is strength in vulnerability. And there is so much growth available when you redirect your energy toward what truly matters.